Hola, Internet.
Alright, so the rest of the gang didn't want to join us for this. Steven didn't want to come because he hasn't seen Man of Steel. Christina's out of town. I'm not sure about our new cast member, Crystal. And Alex didn't like Man of Steel, so he didn't want to come. So that leaves me and Trey. Yeah. He was with us during Deadpool, so. Okay, so. Fuck the critics. Alright? They're either paid off or they're trying to compare this to the Marvel movies.
They're both wrong.
The critics are wrong. And this is actually. I liked Man of Steel.
Yes.
I enjoyed Man of Steel greatly.
I did too.
I thought it was a good movie. Did I think it was groundbreaking? Did I think it was great? No, but it was good.
It was. It portrayed what Superman is.
Despite its flaws.
Despite its flaws.
And there were many of them, but it was a good movie. And this rights everything that was wrong with it. This was a great movie.
It was a phenomenal movie.
Fuck the Avengers. I never want to say this again. Fuck Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right,
fuck all the Marvel movies.
Alright. Well,
this was awesome.
This was awesome. I think it come to a logical conclusion why the critics don't like this. Is because this movie pulls some meta that's from other books, like The Injustice, Gods Among Us, and Batman Year 1000. If you know these, then you realize where the references are going, and you realize why it's good.
This is assuming the critics even knew about that.
Which they probably didn't. So,
because they're either bought off or they're just fucking idiots.
Exactly. So they were trying to compare it to Marvel, which does everything from ground up, not borrowing from other things. That's why they don't understand. Of course, there's a few flaws in this movie. Let's be honest, but it is phenomenal. It's that perfect 95%. Perfect.
One of the flaws is they're doing what a lot of other movies don't do anymore. They're telling you a story. And they are building up to this epic climax that people have been waiting years for.
They take the time for the characters to talk and dialogue, and not just say one-liners.
Yeah, no, they're not doing the Marvel formula where they introduce the characters have a few quips with each other, and then the action starts. No. They're doing what DC does. They do setups. Yes. Alright. The biggest flaw is this is a long movie. It takes a long time to get to the action. This was probably 20 minutes short of being a 3-hour film.
Probably.
But it is worth it. This is a great movie the whole way through. And I'm gonna throw the spoiler tag out there now. The final fight is awesome. Not just when Wonder Woman shows up. No, she doesn't show up to get between Batman and Superman like everyone thought she did. No, she shows up and they have a throwdown with Doomsday. A knockoff version of him, but it's still fucking Doomsday, and it stays relatively faithful to the actual character.
If we are doing spoilers here, there are a few other things. Like the big solar flare attack that Doomsday does. That's based off of Superman's solar flare attack, which he got in recent issues. So that was part of where they got the inspiration from it.
Yeah.
The other parts of it was Doomsday actually killing Superman, which we all know doesn't really happen. They just put him in a healing coma, which some call is bullshit, but others... But for this, it's perfect, because we know that there's going to be other movies going on. But for right now, Superman isn't in it, which is really kind of cool, because now Batman has to make the entire Justice League. And then, when the next bad guy comes along...
most variations, Batman's the one who started the Justice League to begin with.
Fair enough, yes. But
I mean, he's the answer to Superman. But the Justice League is the answer to him. Mm-hmm. Well, in his own thoughts. Yeah. But in reality, because let's be honest, the Justice League are his bitches. But in reality, the Justice League is there for the same reason the Avengers are, to protect the Earth. And, I mean, they already went and did Doomsday, but I'm pretty confident Doomsday is going to come back in some shape or form, because Doomsday cannot die. He cannot be killed.
Physically not.
No. I mean, what makes Doomsday such a threat is once he's killed, or in reality terms, beaten by something, he can't be defeated by it again. Mm-hmm. Which is why it was so easy for him to beat Superman, because Superman can only do two things: heat vision or beat you to death.
There's a few others, but...
So eventually, Doomsday became so powerful, the only thing they could do to him is send him to the other side of the universe. Yeah, okay. The Guardians of Oa, the little blue people who gave the Green Lantern Corps their power, are the single most powerful creatures in the DC universe. Doomsday killed one of them.
Neat.
That's how... Yeah, he's called Doomsday. I mean, there's not really much to say about that.
Right. Now, there was a point I want to make out of this. Jesse Eisenberg's role as young Lex Luthor was fucking phenomenal. Because there was the beautiful amounts of insanity that Lex Luthor has, but he doesn't have the confidence yet. You hear him stammering or going on.
Doing this?
Yeah, doing little twitching like that. And that's perfect. Because it really lets you know that he's not perfect Lex Luthor yet. Not the cocky, arrogant bastard that is Lex Luthor. He's on his way to, though.
So many people were just going on and on about how Ben Affleck is going to be horrible. Ben Affleck was awesome. I had been saying it since day one, since he was announced to be Bruce Wayne. He is going to crush this.
He is.
And
he did.
I was proven right. One thing I was proven wrong on, well, not really proven wrong, but I'm glad I thought wrong, is when they announced Jesse Eisenberg to be Lex Luthor. I didn't personally approve of it.
Yeah, I was skeptical too, let's be honest.
But I'm always the one who has the thought process. I will criticize it after trying it, after experiencing it.
So, disclaimer,
something people clearly didn't learn after The Dark Knight when Heath Ledger was announced as the Joker. They had the same reaction. That's bullshit. That's not a good choice. Look how that turned out. Shut up.
Bastards know what they're doing. They really do. Sometimes they're wrong, but that's 20% out of 80%. You'll still be fine.
Seriously. And, how do you say her name? Gal Gadot?
Yeah, the actress who played Wonder Woman.
The model. Alright?
Yeah, she was originally a model.
She did a good job. I mean, there's not really enough for her to do a full critique of, but from what I saw, she did a good job. I'm not impressed so far, though. And what little backstory, exposition, stuff they did, I don't like so far, but that's just me gonna nitpick. Because Wonder Woman, not only as one of the founding members of the Justice League, but as... If you mention female superhero, she is the first one that will come to your mind. And if she's not, well, whatever. But if my current predictions for her backstory for these movies is right, I'm not going to like it, but take what little bad there is with the plethora of good. This was an amazing movie. The critics are wrong. Fuck the critics. They never know what they're talking about.
Right. No, yeah. Let's be honest. People who are just now watching and don't know anything else about DC are not really going to get it. They're going to think some of this is some of the other meta that's thrown in is bullshit. But we know, as people who actually know what's going on, know where it's from, and therefore can follow it.
Yeah. And, I mean, then there are the younger generation of superhero fans who haven't really experienced DC in live action aside from the Batman movies.
Yes.
Who are going to go into this, and they're going to expect it to be comparable to the Marvel Universe films.
But it's completely different.
Yeah. I mean, DC has a very different formula to how they do things.
Marvel's more about... There's the actions of the heroes and the witty dialogue in between them, but DC wants to build the characters from the ground up and introduce every single aspect of them.
Yeah, and again, spoiler tags for this entire video. When it comes to Batman specifically, this is the Dark Knight Batman. I don't mean like the Dark Knight as in the movies that Christian Bale did, although these are the same continuity. No, this is the Dark Knight line comics of Batman. He straight up kills a few people. I mean, several because he had no real choice, but no, he straight up kills people, and he was ready to straight up kill Superman.
But he does it in such a way that you don't really care. He makes the important choices.
Because, and this movie's biggest strength is the action.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it spends so much time building up to it, setting up for it, that when it happens, this is like the greatest thing you will see all month. For, you know what, fuck it, until Civil War or Suicide Squad comes out.
Right.
Because at this point, I'm going to go see X-Men
So-
Apocalypse. I'm probably going to enjoy it, but I don't particularly care at this moment about X-Men.
I don't know much yet. I think it's going to be good, all things considered, but as of right now, it's not.
Yeah.
All things considered, but I'm not going to make any judgment until after I see it. So I'm not that shallow.
Yeah, sure.
But I will say one other thing is that the actress who played Wonder Woman, I can't remember her name right now. She didn't get a lot of screen time. And there were a few bit of incontinuities about her, but overall she's very good. And I think that when she gets her own I think it's a TV series I think she's getting on WB.
I'm not entirely sure.
When she gets that, or the movie, I can't remember, I think that we'll see much more of who her character is and why it's important. But for right now, we do have one other piece of information, is that Lex Luthor looked up other people for metahumans that are also going to be part of the Justice League. They include Flash, Aquaman. and Cyborg.
Yeah.
Now, these are an interesting choice, considering that the original founding members of the Justice League were
Flash, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and John Jones.
and Hawkgirl.
Well, Hawkman in most variations.
Yeah, fair enough. Which I would love to see some of the DC Heroes of, or DC's Heroes of Tomorrow, the one that's on WB right now. I would love to see some crossover with that, but unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get it.
Justice League Unlimited, the live-action movie.
That's pretty much it.
I want to see a Vigilante movie or a Vigilante TV show.
Yeah,
You remember the cowboy bandana, the twin revolvers, rode around on a motorcycle all the time?
yeah.
I liked Vigilante.
But there are some points. But overall, this movie is just—it's great. If
Yeah,
you know what's going on, where they're taking the meta from, where they're taking the stories from, you will understand it all, and then and then it will just all make sense. There's a few inconsistencies, like everyone somehow finding out each other's secret identities, which I didn't figure out. And there's also the one part.
Well, I mean, Lex Luthor is that smart. It's
he
just
is
like,
that smart, yes.
I mean,
But
it ruins not the fun of it, but he wants to establish he is better than everyone else. That's his thing.
No, that's true.
But I mean, still, what's to stop him from telling everyone else?
I think you just ruin the fun for him. He does things for logical reasons. He wouldn't tell the entire...
Logical for him.
Logical for him. He's selfish, logically selfish. He only does it if it benefits himself in a physical in some kind of physical way.
I mean, I haven't watched the TV shows for the heroes, like The Flash. I still haven't seen it. I haven't watched any of them. So, I mean, I don't know if the Flash they showed in that very brief scene is the same Flash from the TV show.
It's not. It is not. And I'm not sure where the actor's from, but he kind of looks like the guy that plays, wow, my brain just went dead. Not Starkiller.
Star-Lord?
No. My
Different
brain
people.
just went dead. Han Solo's kid. Kylo Ren. I'm sorry. He kind of looks like the actor that played Kylo Ren. I'm sorry. That took me a second. I wasn't really sure because he had more hair on him.
Go from Terrorizer of the Galaxy / Sith Lord to the Flash.
Right? That's a weird ass jump. But at the point, and then there are some other
Not
stuff.
nearly as,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call it weird because we're used to it and we fucking love it. As Mark Hamill going from the savior of the galaxy and the rebirth of the Jedi to the fucking Joker.
Yeah, that was great. There are some things that just makes complete sense, or that we just enjoy. We love it when mythos clash each other from actors,
And
like
yeah,
Deadpool.
it's not a bad thing that they're trying to, not necessarily rewrite, but they're trying to create their own story about the Justice League. That's
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing, just for people like us, we can keep up. For people who don't know shit, they're going to get confused, and the whole jumping around back and forth is going to confuse a lot of them. Like, I'm relatively certain if Alex ever actually goes to see this movie, that's going to be one of his complaints.
Yeah. Long story short, this movie was made for the fans. That's what I think no one's figuring out. We're the fans. People you were watching, you're the fan. But the critics,
Or just people looking to get a heads up on this movie.
like the critics, The normal families who are somehow too poor to afford comic books and don't know how to use the internet, they're not going to there's some things that they're not going to understand. They're going to give the movie a 65% out of 100. We know what the hell's going on. We're going to give it a 98% out of 100.
Yeah. I'm going to go up to 97 easily. This movie was awesome.
I'll go to 95 because just there's that few small inconsistencies. That's all I care. That's all it really matters.
Whatever math Rotten Tomatoes did to end up giving this like the same general score as The Room, they need to check their algorithms and their little automatic computing system because their numbers are off.
And the recent Fantastic Four movie, it got just as low a score.
I just refused to admit existed.
Yeah. And it's just fucked up.
Because that was in theater for what, 5 months before it jumped right to DVD because they just wanted people to forget about it already.
Mm-hmm. That ruins the point. But this movie is not that. I don't know who the fuck did that. I don't know who the fuck gave it such a low score, but they are obviously getting sucked off by someone to give it, by someone over at Disney or Marvel to give it such a low score. It does not deserve it. It physically just does not.
I don't even think it's Disney or Marvel. I think it's just
stupidity.
Someone.
People who think they know what they're talking about and really don't.
Yeah, I mean, when people get paid to say bad things about a movie, they pretty much, after a certain point, they think they know better than anyone.
Allow me to give you an example of what the extra meta I'm talking about. There's this point where Batman keeps having bad dreams going back and forth between his family's death and the current time and then in the future. And in the point where he comes in the future, he's in this desolate wasteland where he's wearing an overcoat and there's just a few people there. And his entire idea was to get the kryptonite. And then somehow Superman finds out and then kills him. That idea was from the Injustice Gods Among Us storyline, where Superman turns evil and Metropolis is nuked by the Joker. He then kills the Joker and then starts turning shit on the world and turning into basically
superpowered dictator.
I am your king and your god is basically what happened. No one would have realized that if you didn't know that. Until then, it would just be like some weird dream that Batman's having, and that's all you can see. And then after that, you see some guy traveling through time, and so that's how we know that it's linked between them. That's the only part that was really taken. Then somehow he wakes up from like a dream within a dream. It was a dreamception thing, and if you did not know that Injustice Gods Among Us part, it would just seem like they were ripping off Leo DiCaprio.
Not to be confused with the storyline to the Injustice Gods Among Us game, which was just Mortal Kombat with DC characters.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Like that horrible crossover wasn't enough.
Well, anyway. And that's really it. Because if you read DC, if you know what the hell's going on, if you even pay attention to 40% of the entire DC universe, you'll love this movie. If you don't know any of that, ask a nerd. They like talking about this shit.
Yeah.
You'll go on for hours.
No, just like listen to it for 10 minutes and then just walk away when they're not looking, because seriously, they will go on for hours.
Or just put
I know that's because we will.
Just like put a teddy bear or something there. Just
well,
swap
for
your
the
clothes.
fact that it's almost 12:30 at night, I mean, we would be going on for this about hours. He's got work tomorrow, I got work tomorrow.
Alright, so you want to hang up and go to work, go home?
Nah, there's still a few things to mention.
Okay, go ahead.
Alex usually likes to do the trailers or the previews of other movies.
Right,
I'm not going to talk about them. Suicide Squad, X-Men Apocalypse, that's all you need to know.
What was the third
Fuck
one?
the other trailers.
What was the other one there?
Don't remember, don't care.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't important.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Also because they're the only movies I'm looking forward to.
The X-Men Apocalypse was... The trailers that they showed were nothing new. We've seen them already, but it was just nice seeing them on the big screen. Especially Suicide Squad. I am looking forward to that movie.
Just kidding. That's not what the voices said.
I am looking forward to that movie, something fierce, and I was afraid... After reading the reviews for this movie, I was afraid they were going to fuck it up, but now that I've actually seen it, I know they're not going to fuck it up.
Anyone who follows the director on Twitter, like I do, is well aware of Jared Leto's antics, that they're concerned he might actually have something in his head that's loose. Because he's really embracing this role.
I'm sure fucking
and
hope
doing
so.
it a little
but
too
I just
easily.
I just hope he doesn't end up like Heath Ledger. We'll have to replace the Joker every time there's a movie. I don't want that.
That's the tradition to the new DC movies. Every Joker's got a day.
I know, but that's gonna suck.
Who's next on the list? Trey today. Who the hell is that?
Fuck that. I could not be Joker. I like people too much.
I don't.
I know you wouldn't. Well, I can't cut off someone's face and make him eat it like jerky, which is what freaking Joker did in, what was it, Death in the Family? I think that was it. You remember which one it was?
I don't think it was Death in the Family, but the name is escaping me.
It's not the Killing Joke, I know that.
No, the Killing Joke is when he shot Barbara Gordon in the spine.
Right, it's not that one.
That was awesome.
I can't remember right now.
Is it weird that I enjoyed that?
You enjoyed watching Barbara Gordon?
That's actually not out of character for me at all.
Why did you enjoy Barbara Gordon getting shot to the stomach?
Because I wasn't expecting it.
It was entirely... Never mind. Okay, so that was all for this for the trailers. That was all for this for the movie.
And
go fucking watch it. Just go fucking watch it.
Go see this movie. It's glorious.
Yes.
And already set up for the next one. When they're again, spoiler, Superman dies.
We all know that doesn't actually happen.
Yeah. And
healing coma.
Yeah, or whatever reason they're going to come up with.
I just love the fact that they bury him 6 feet under the ground. Like, let's give the plant man the exact thing he needs, and then take it away from him.
Yeah. But Batman's talking to Wonder Woman, saying we have to find the others because they'll have to fight too. What do you mean they'll have to fight? It's just a feeling. And then they're already talking about gathering everyone else because they're going to have to make a stand. Then he goes to visit Lex Luthor in jail, who now has his head shaved. I was thinking they were actually going to try and put him in the chair.
And electrocute him?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's really the only reason they shaved their heads in prison.
No, they shaved their prison. They give him buzz cuts for, well, I guess not. Never mind, keep going. Well, they wouldn't give him the chair, though. They like Lex Luthor too much, and I think that's been outlawed by the U.S. government.
I think...
Well, maybe. Most states have done it at this point, like, majority of them. Anyway.
But I mean, right as Batman disappears and the cells are closing again, Lex runs up, tries to force his face through the bars, and he's just like, he's coming, you can't stop him, he's coming and he's hungry. There can only be one of two people. That can either be Brainiac or Darkseid. I'm hoping it's Brainiac, honestly. Because Darkseid needs to wait until the whole gang is together.
I agree to that. I agree, but I think in order to combat the Infinity War arc that Marvel's doing, they need to get Darkseid out there.
Or they can not make the mistake Marvel did and blow their load too early. They brought out Age of Ultron. They brought out Ultron way too early. They're making a huge mistake with Civil War. Although, don't get me wrong, I'm damn sure I'm gonna enjoy that movie. Especially now that Marvel, they have the rights to Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
Sony said, fuck it, take it, just like, give us your cut.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? But it shouldn't be a Captain America movie, first off. It needs to be an Avengers movie. And,
technically, yes.
Iron Man won the Civil War.
He did. Well, no, hold on. Captain America did beat Iron Man, but he saw what he became, didn't like it, and gave up.
Yeah, but Tony Stark lived.
Yeah,
Steve Rogers did not.
Yeah, and that's a spoiler for anyone that's watching, but still, I would...
Unless Marvel's going to do this thing with it being a Captain America movie, and with both Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. wanting out. I mean, they love the roles, but they love the roles, they're just tired of being them.
I didn't think that Robert Downey Jr. wanted out.
He wants out.
He wants out? Okay. That sucks.
Well, I mean, he wants to do other things.
It's for a good reason, I'll give it that.
And also, you know, that it can't really go on with them still there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless they're just going to, like, rewrite the whole thing to where Captain America actually wins and kills Robert Downey Jr. so he can get out and then, you know, just walk away because he's done. He had to kill one of his closest friends.
Mm-hmm. So,
Steve Rogers will walk away, leaving the mantle of Captain America to be picked up by someone else. It better not be Bucky.
It's not going to be Bucky. It's going to be in the store in the
the
comic,
actual story is Falcon picks up the role.
Yeah, I can't really see how because he doesn't have the super soldier thing going through him.
Well, he technically doesn't need it.
I guess. I mean, never mind.
but
Semantics.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I'm hoping the next one is going to involve Brainiac, because that's mostly a Superman villain. I mean, then again, so is Darkseid, but Darkseid needs to be saved through the actual final boss.
If this was foreplay, we would now be moving on from light petting to extreme petting and then full out fucking.
Yeah. You don't bring Darkseid out like this, not this early. Also, Darkseid, his entire goal is to just solve the anti-life equation and then get rid of life everywhere.
Which somehow is a good thing. Or a logical thing.
Don't question him.
Whatever.
I mean, no, literally, don't question him. He's a god.
Don't fuck with him.
He is a god. Don't question him. Okay. Brainiac is like the only one that makes sense because he's coming, he's hungry. Brainiac's entire thing, chronicle all data on a world and then destroy it.
So it can't have more data.
Yeah, basically.
Here, this is all the information from the planet. No more after this point.
Brainiac is basically the Galactus of DC.
That was a good point. Wait, could it be Galactus?
Galactus is Marvel.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm retarded. My bad. Don't listen to me.
I'll just chalk that up to the calculus frying your brain cells.
Yeah, I studied calculus for like 6 hours today. Please don't think ill of me.
So, I'm hoping Brainiac for the next one, because obviously Superman's not dead. That would just be stupid.
I'm honestly hoping for Darkseid simply so it can come out right when Infinity War is, and I really want to see the popularity between the two. I want to see who will win in a giant popularity.
Darkseid would destroy Thanos.
I know Darkseid would destroy Thanos.
Infinity Stones be damned.
I know
Darkseid is a god.
Is a god. Thanos wants to be a god. There's a big difference. Well,
Yeah.
technically he is a god, but the only reason why he hasn't died is because he literally takes living as a challenge. He's the best warrior in existence.
The only reason Thanos is considered a god is because, well, he has a lot of power, and because there's literally only like two things in the Marvel Universe that can challenge him. One being Galactus, the other being the Phoenix Force. Which is stronger than fucking Apocalypse, depending on which version you look at. But, whatever. I want Darkseid to be saved for, like, the actual final boss.
That would be like the entire Justice League together.
Which it would have to be.
I
mean, even like Superman, at the end of Justice League Unlimited, even at the end, when Superman's like, what we have here is a chance for me to cut loose. To stop holding back. Darkseid was still beating the hell out of him. Because even when Superman's not holding back, Darkseid can still throw down with him and almost win. So, I mean...
Let's be honest.
Of course, by that exact same logic, Darkseid would kill Goku.
Yeah.
Come get me, Internet!
Let's not discuss that. That's something different entirely.
This is...
So, please go see this movie. That's all we're trying to say.
Obviously, Darkseid is going to be like CG or something, but I want to know who they're going to get to play him.
No, he can't be CG. They'll put makeup on him, just like they have done Thanos. But I would love to see who would play them, because I have no idea who would command the presence of a god.
There's
from
really
an
not
actor.
a lot of people.
There is almost no one.
Voice actors, it's a small pool of people who could do it, but there's that pool of people who could do it. Like in Justice League War, the animated film, great one. My personal favorite voice actor, Stephen J. Blum, was the voice of Darkseid, and he was amazing at that. If you haven't seen it, watch it seriously. They straight up stabbed Darkseid in the eyes. Darkseid bleeds. I didn't know he bled.
Yeah. Is he still a god if he bleeds, though?
Yes, but I didn't know he could bleed. Wonder Woman takes her sword, stabs him in the eye. Flash takes a crowbar, stabs him in the other eye, and Shazam just lightning storms it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about Shazam. I'm looking for, but I am looking forward to crud. The name just escaped me. Benedict Cumberbatch is playing him.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yes. I am looking forward to that one.
Another Marvel one I am looking forward to, but also, what about the DC counterpart, Dr. Fate?
I am curious about that because the last time I heard from Dr. Fate, well, this is just me and like the normal
I'm gonna
stuff.
be completely honest. I haven't seen a lot of Dr. Fate's comics. I haven't read a lot of them.
The last part I saw him, he was still in the Justice League, and that was after the Young Justice comics. That was the last time I saw him. I could be wrong,
but I'm definitely looking forward to Doctor Strange. I really want to see how Benedict Cumberbatch is going to handle this.
I do too. I think he's gonna rock it, just like he rocks everything else.
Amazing actor.
Amazing actor. But that's all we got. Do you have anything else to add?
Why are you still watching this? Go see this movie.
Yeah, go see the fucking movie. Okay, don't just listen to us. We're idiots. Go see the movie.
We're sexy. Well, I'm sexy. This is my manservant, but stop watching this. You want to cosplay Jay and Silent Bob at one point, all right? Come on. Get in character. Or, well, technically I would be Silent Bob.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking, and I should be swearing profusely. Get off me, you fucking faggot!
Go watch the movie.
Silent Bob, you a rude motherfucker, you know that?